How's it going? So I'm at round 2 of MHL5 versus Isaac Egan. It's the Abzan Mirror. Woo! Just played at his apartment. It's pretty cruisy, nice and quiet. So you might actually be able to hear the audio properly from like us just talking in the match. Anyway, I'll just start it up here, I guess. It's interesting. Like I'd been evolving my build to get better, but Isaac was more, I guess, like just tweaking, and slowly my build is getting closer to Isaac's. I'll actually do a comparison. I'll bring that up. So here it is in the A column. We've got all our mutually played cards. B column is the cards that Isaac plays different. C column is the cards that I play different. And as you can see, there's probably only like, what, 4, 5, 7, 11, 12 cards different between us, which I guess that's significant. This is the main deck, by the way. I won't bother with sideboards. The general trend is that Isaac plays 2 more mana guys than I did. This is round 1 and 2, and both our lists have changed since then. And I was playing 24 lands. Isaac's been playing 20. Instead of the 2 mana guys, I've just got more lands, basically. Yeah. And some different choices in threats. Isaac's guys a bit more meatier. And I've got some lower dudes. This Limvala, Keeper of Silence, hasn't been that impressive. I used to find that I boarded it in all the time, and so I'm like, hey, I'll main deck and see how it goes. I don't know, maybe I haven't drawn enough. And Isaac's gone for Batterskull as his third equipment instead of Sword of Fine Ice, which is my preference. Look, they're fairly similar. I find that Sword of Fine Ice closes games and beats True Name, which I really like. It's much better against control. But given that Zoo is the most popular league deck, perhaps Batterskull's the way to go. Whatever. Isaac's got a couple more Planeswalkers too, a couple Gazes. I'm not playing Path in the main deck. Yeah, I kind of felt like in Highlander decks kind of have enough mana sinks that regardless of when you cast it, they're going to get some value out of that extra land, and it's pretty much uncastable in the first 2 turns. It feels like you lose. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Start the video. Play. So a round glass table. There wasn't much space, but got it working. Isaac's apartment has like halogen downlights, so the glare was... We had to move the table around a lot, and you may not be able to see the cards from time to time. I leave with Winds of Teeth into Savannah. Beta Lenore Elves. Isaac matches with the mana elf of his own, yes. These decks are all about 1-drop elf into sweet 3-drop. My deck's getting there. Like it's still kind of got a bunch of 2-drops in it, so if you don't draw the mana elf, you still get a reasonable curve. But Isaac's deck needs the mana elf basically. I've just got to turn to Sword of Fire and Ice, which creates an interesting scenario. I mean, Isaac can easily bluff the removal spell if he wants. In which case, I had the difficult decision of whether to equip or not and get blown out on tempo. But I mean, he could have Snuff out, 0 mana, and I spent 2 mana plus like the mana from my Lenore Elves, which is attacking instead of tapping. I don't know what to do. I'd have to take the scenario as it comes to make that decision. Hopefully I can... once again, it's just me commentating just to get the games out there. Carl has offered to commentate with me, but fairly busy. Hopefully we can work our schedules out and get a co-commentary going on. Yeah. It's pretty hard to fill the air with... You only got myself commentating when people tank so hard in League because there's no time restrictions. I have no idea what we're laughing about. Maybe one of us farted or something. Oh, okay. Isaac's saying, yeah, I haven't got any removal. You should totally equip an attack. Like 3 mana, it could be Putrefy. If it was Path or Swords, if it was Swords, he'd probably bash in with the Pilgrim and use the Arid Mazer, or he'd probably use like 2-drop and then hold up white. Mana Elves kind of give away your instant speed tricks on how you tap your mana. You know, if you don't attack with them when you have an open board, then obviously you've got something. So I opt not to equip. I acknowledge his representation of removal, and the fact that he's going to do something end of turn would indicate that he has got it. It's got to be Putrefy for 3 mana. Well, I know it is because I play this game. And I've just added to my board. In the meantime, Treetop Village and Quasali Pride Mage. Treetop quite good with Sword of Fire and Ice. I mean, you do need 5 mana to, you know, animate and attack, but the trample is really nice. He just finishes off the sword, yeah. Nice foily Putrefy from the set. Isaac right here. He just wants a big guy, I think. Like a 4/4 or something. That's the Windswept Heath. Isaac is playing Abzan in Standard, so Thoughtseize and a few fetches are going to be in his Standard deck, and he has some proxies for this match. Tap tap. 3 mana Lingering Souls? Blade Splicer, okay. So I've got a Pride Mage if I want to kill a token because it's an artifact. The board's kind of at parity right now. I mean, I wouldn't mind keeping the Quasali Pride Mage around so I can bash with a Treetop, but if I'm tapping mana to activate Treetop and attack, then I'm not adding to my board. I really just have to play a fatty here to match the 3/3 and maybe save the Pride Mage for something better, because a 3/3 first strike is not, you know, not going to win in the game. Abzan can go bigger than that, depending on what's in my hand, of course. I can see a Godless Shrine and a big tank of water, or a tank of juice. I'm guzzling 2 liters of juice right now, like from Juno. This is a pain in the ass to edit, by the way, because as per last round, my recording software was stuffing up and I had to just use Camtasia, which can only record the screen or one webcam, and so I couldn't get live totals in there, and I had to go back, watch the whole match and put the live totals in manually. It took me like the length of the video to do. Birthing Pod paying 2 life, so I intend to either play land and sack. Pride Mage for Finks is fine, and then I can just like take some hits from the 3/3 while I ramp up, unless he has removal to kill like the Finks, especially Path or Swords. Could put me considerably far behind, as I'll get no value off the pod, but I know my other option is to sack the Elf. I can go Stringer of Geist, Voice of Resurgence, and start a lower chain. Keep my options open with the Pride Mage. So I opt for the Elf. From memory, I go to Stoneforge. Jide won't be too effective because he's got the first striker to keep the counters off my guy, unless I spend the Pride Mage, which is a fine line, I suppose. But then I'm relying on the Stoneforge Mystic to hold the Jide, in which case I am losing a lot of tempo because I'd want to sack the Stoneforge to the Birthing Pod to keep my chain going. So, like, my line would best be probably put Jide on. Maybe it's not even Jide, maybe I want Sword of Fire and Ice and just Abyss him each turn. And that way I don't have to sack my Pride Mage to kill the 3/3. Interesting. Isaac's getting his tap on. That's a polite impatience. As I was going through and doing the life totals, Isaac was very good not to call me out on slow play here. I think his really one chin was watching. He's being polite. I just get a clamp actually. So I really want to, I guess I could just wait till next turn, clamp up the Pride Mage, kill the token then, and in the meantime take 3 damage from the token. That would be the best way to go. Or just put the clamp on Stoneforge and pot up for some value. I think it's worth trying to clamp both. I mean, I've got the mana, and it's just a 3/3. I could take 1 hit. That's fine. But at the time, I chose to kill the token. So I'm choosing to save some life instead of draw some more cards the next turn. It would have cost me an extra 1 mana to draw 2 cards over 3 life. Seems like not even close. So I think I should have gone for the cards there. I'm on 15, it's still heaps. I don't know where we're at right now. Isaac's second main phase, I think. He's deciding what to play. It's always kind of scary having that Blade Splicer just sitting there naked after the token's dealt with. Like, you never know when they can have the Restoration Angel or the Pod or the Clamp even. Slaps it down. That's a Scavenging Ooze. I will have to deal with that eventually. Not immediately. Like, okay, so Isaac knows I've got Clamp here. I think Isaac would roughly have 3 or 4 cards in hand. And he's got 2 mana open. I mean, it could be Abrupt Decay, it could be Path, Swords, or he just wants to represent Ooze mana, make a big Ooze. It's fine as well. And I'm just deciding what lands to clamp my guy with if I draw into certain spells. I think Isaac's held me up here. He's gonna swords my guy. So I'm all out of Birthing Pod fuel. And this is what happened. I got a bit greedy there. I could have got the read that he was going for the removal spell and just sacked the guy while I had priority because he couldn't respond. But I think at the time I couldn't be certain that he was doing it because he had the ooze. Yeah, I really should have just taken the 3 from the token, got an extra clamp in there. Oh. So have I got the gas in hand to just play another sacrifice to the pod? It looks like I've got 3 lands. Godless Shrine, Marsh Flats, Bloodstained Mire? That ain't good. Oh, it's an Arid Mesa. So I've got the treetop I can sack. So I have to decide whether I want to... Right now I could bash in with the treetop. Just hit Isaac for 3. I could hold it back to block the Pilgrim or Blade Splicer, which bashes in. Which is probably the best way to go, considering I've got Pod and Clamp, which gives me inevitability. Or I can start my chain now. I can just activate the treetop and sack it to get a 1-drop. Or I can wait till next turn and put Clamp on it, like I should have done with the Quasai Pro Mage. I think I'm just shipping the turn, and Isaac's deciding whether to crack his fetch and use the... what's it called? Oh, he's thinking about Aven Mind Sensor, because I've got 3 mana open, and he knows I love that card. I do love that card. As I showed you before on that spreadsheet, I'm not actually playing it in this build. Abzan has a ridiculous amount of awesome playables. And, you know, Aven Mind Sensor is just bad in a few matchups, and you may as well play a card that's good in all matchups. But having said that, I'm playing Limvala, which is terrible against like Kurgan, for example. I mean, it's still a body, but they just kill it for 2 mana and you fall behind. Okay, so I've let him fetch here, so I haven't got the mind sensor, and he just goes for it again. 16 all. About to play my 6th league match tomorrow night. Wish me luck. Titania!
Juggernauts, California!
It's a Simpsons quote that we're quoting there. I'll put a link to it in the description of the video, or I'll like add a little caption thing. Yeah, it's great. More people should quote it. You gotta like shout it at the top of your lungs when you play her. She's insane, by the way, Titania. If you're not playing her in your green dude deck, just get it in there. It's just one-man army. Or one elemental army. Isaac's foil Zendikar Forest looking pretty schmick there. Alright, so he's bashed in with the Ooze, which you can make a 3/3 at will, and he's got the Blade Splicer, which I don't know what he's doing there with the Blade Splicer. Don't know why he attacked. Maybe he figures that it feeds the Ooze, so it ends up being the same amount of damage anyway, which is reasonable. Yum yum yum. This matchup it's actually quite interesting. It's all about playing around the removal and having the answers to clamp and pod if your opponent draws them, because that shit has to die. But I don't know. Well, I'm getting out tempoed here just because Isaac's had a couple well-timed removal spells. And I misplayed, like, not clamping that Pride Mage. Left me with a bunch of lands in hand and no fuel. Here's a scenario where a Mana Elf would be better than a land. So Isaac's deck plays Mana Guys instead of extra lands. I mean, if I had drawn the Elf there, could go up to a Stranglegeist. I'm just digging in desperation here. I need well, Isaac's that blue dice is a 5/3 token from the Titania. I need like Lingering Souls to chump all these guys. It's really hot, by the way. I think it's like, it feels like it's 28 and it's 9 PM. My cat's sprawled out on the carpet down there. Meow. I'd say this game's over. I mean, I can get lucky and draw like Sword Snuff out, or I could draw a Lingering Souls, and the following turn draw the removal. Just pot into a mana guy. Foils versus non-foils. Isaac's begun the habit of pimping out whatever his Highlander deck is, and he eventually like starts doing really well with it, and then he gets points and he has to change his Highlander deck and re-pimp whatever he switches to. I'm just throwing this out there right now. Isaac is a far better player than I am. I've never said that, but he is. Just watching these games and the stuff he sees and how analytical he is. And I just make dumb decisions all the time. I don't know how I even come close to his results. Whatever. Luck, I suppose. So, how should I win? Is Isaac's thoughts right now. 2 mana, Rock Decay. Let me know, by the way, if it bothers you that I've seen these games that I'm commenting on. I mean, that's another advantage of being the co-commentator. You know, I can see it from such a fresh perspective, which is what they have, you know. Whereas I seem wise and all-knowing because I know what's going on, but you know what's going on. Whatever. Chump chump. I'm still taking, like, whatever that ooze is. I think it's a 3-3. Oh no, 2 guys exiled, it's a 4-4. Oh no, the Stoneforge got swords. It's a 3-3. And now it's going to be a 4-4. 5-5. 4-4. Yum yum yum. You guys notice that Scavenging Ooze, I'm pretty sure, is the same, like, ooze plant thing that's on the art for Rampant Growth in 9th edition? Or 7th edition? Anyway, check it out. Or maybe I'll flash that on the screen as well afterwards. And what do I get? Wrath, Hallowed Burial. I don't play those cards. Well, I suppose, you know, last video I was raving about Clamp, but this video, you know, I just got out tempo by removal, despite having Clamp, and so maybe it's all I haven't hyped it up to be, but nah, it's not true. If I just had to play better, it would have been all I've hyped it up to be. Just scoop him up, buddy. I'm not your guy, buddy. I'm not your buddy, guy. Just occurred to me that the sound for this video may not be recording through Camtasia. I better check that out. And I'll fix it for Game 2 if it wasn't the case, because there's no way I'm commentating this again. I almost didn't comment. I always had my audio on a different mic and it wouldn't have picked it up, and I would have commentated it in without no one being able to hear it. And it would have been so tough to commentate again. Stringer Geist 3-2, the classic Clamp Geist combo. Don't know about Geist. I think I'm going to cut him. He's just small. Alright, finally it's over. Isaac, he's up 1-0. Let's go to Game 2 and I'll make sure that it's recording properly.